Look at the picture. See the skull. Visible Frankenstein controls. The Brain Thoughts broadcasting radio. The Frankenstein earphone radio. The latest new skull reforming to contain all Frankenstein controls.
Frankenstein Control is brought to you today by your local taxi company. We care about retaining your business and remaining relevant in today's era of ride-sharing apps like Uber. And we're gonna take the right steps to do that. We know you deserve better. Speaking of, we saw a bunch of Uber guys hanging out on the street corner the other day, smoking in front of an impersonable teen and high-fiving each other about how you, yes, you specifically, smell like farts. We don't think you smell like farts. After 30 years in these cars, we can no longer tell what's a fart and what's not. We're sorry your experience hasn't always been so great. We're sorry about last time when your driver looked suspiciously like Gary Busey and charged you $40 to take you somewhere he insisted was Disneyland. And it turned out to be the dumpsters behind the Red Lobster. We're also sorry he left the meter running for 15 minutes while he played around in seafood garbage wearing Mickey Mouse ears. We fired Mike, like 3 times, but he keeps coming back and getting a hold of a cab somehow. It definitely won't happen again, probably. We're also remodeling our cabs now to make your experience more elegant and trendy. To that effect, we've hired renowned artist Ringo Starr to provide some of his unique masterpieces to grace the back of our seat covers. Look for those later this summer. And remember us next time you want to go to the airport, because we're lobbying the shit out of your congressional representatives to draft legislation in the name of Homeland Security to allow only licensed cab drivers and not untrustworthy independent contractors within 5 miles of a tarmac. That'll be $40. Plus tip!
Now, I will agree that if it's filled with those Red Lobster biscuits, then it might as well be Disney World for me.
Yeah, and it's worth rifling around in the seafood garbage.
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely worth it.
Well, boys, I wanted to thank you for having me on the show. I'm glad I could replace your friend. What was his name? Travis?
Tranker.
Hey! Get out of here! No, he found me! Get out of here now! Ah! Oh, God, I gotta go, boys.
Let's do a shuffle around.
Goodbye, Mr. Gruberson.
We'll always miss you. You'll have a special place in our heart.
That fucking Gruberson, he's always trying to oust me. Hey, guys, how's it going?
I guess it's okay.
I miss Gruberson.
I miss those cheddar biscuits, man. That's what I miss.
And all the butter. See, that's the good thing about getting them out of a dumpster is they dump out all the lobster butter, and then they just seep into the bread.
That lobster butter, man, you got to get it right when it's ripe. Mm-hmm. Once it starts to turn, you can tell. It's just.
So I leave for 2 minutes, some New Yorker tries to take my place, and you guys are talking about rancid lobster? What does this show become?
He lives next door. He's not from, I guess he's from New Jersey originally, but...
Welcome to Frankenstein Control. I'm your fictitious Harry Potter-esque main character, Taylor Russell. To my right, the Hedwig of our little story, Adam Schiff.
I'm Adam, and I do deliver letters to children. They're just... not about magic, they're more about how they're going to die one day.
And ahead of me, stalwart as always, the Hagrid-esque figure of our group, Brian Paris.
I'm more like a combination of Snape and Voldemort. Because I have dark hair, I'm pale, and I have like 2 slits for nostrils.
That is true, ever since the accident.
I've also killed a lot of British school kids.
God.
It's because they made fun of your freakish nostrils.
Ooh! I'll show them.
A dang of badoogas. That's the magic, right?
Yeah. Well, technically, you shoot a gun at him while yelling Avada Kedavra. It only casts 1 spell.
Just imagine Voldemort waving around like a cowboy 6-shooter, but it's made of wood like a wand.
And it shoots wooden bullets.
You see a kid who's like from Slytherin, and he goes into like Ollivander's wand shop, and like evil music starts playing, and he's looking over the selections of wands, and you see all the ones you think he's going to grab. Like, there's one that has, like, a bone handle with, like, a skull on the end of the pommel, and there's, like, one that's just, like, a twisted black evil-looking stick. And he goes, this one, and it's just a Glock 19.
You'll take the wizarding world by storm with the amazing power of gun.
And then all of the classes, like, they're just casting stuff, and he just shoots it. It always kills whatever it is. It's just like, here's potions class, and he just shoots and shatters, like, all the jars and stuff.
Honestly, I could only imagine, like, how much, like, a magic wand could augment your standard, like, SWAT team agent or something like that. Essentially, like, where you would normally put a grenade launcher on an assault rifle, they just put, like, a wand.
Just crudely duct taped on.
Yeah. They just swish and flick their rifle and accidentally shoot one of their own guys. But at least they cast Lumos so they could see in the dark.
The guy runs in with a Gandalf staff held over his shoulder like a bazooka and just blows up a building with it.
This is getting cooler, actually.
I like this.
Yeah.
This seems like a really good mod for, like, Oblivion or Skyrim.
This is a manga. I'm going to Japan, you guys. I'll see ya.
Good. Bring back Gruberson.
Is that where that bastard's gone?
It's Little Witch Academia for America.
Dude, don't
guns.
even fucking get me started on that show. The coolest fucking shit just dropped recently
I know.
for that. Oh my god! I don't want to, like... I don't want to give it away, but it's amazing. But chances are you've already seen it on Reddit. A girl summons a mecha, and it's the best.
What is this?
Little Witch Academia. It's a not a delicious cookie that you buy at the supermarket. It's a show that was originally just like a short made by the guys. An OVA? Yeah. An OVA made by the guys at Trigger, the studio made of the guys who brought you Gurren Lagann.
Okay.
And it's been pretty good, but this recent episode has been great. Because, like, it's Gurren Lagann as fuck. That, like, he even goes, like, drill mode and everything. It's awesome. It's really cool.
Gotta watch that.
And that was Taylor's Weeb Corner.
And Taylor's Weeb Corner is going back into the Weeb Corner, where it will stay.
Taylor lives in the weeb corner.
We're recording in the Weeb Corner. You're surrounded by plastic Japanese robots.
You even got this gross car gum.
Oh, you know it's car gum.
Well, it's like the kind of gum that everyone keeps in their car.
Mm-hmm.
Because Alyssa has some, and it's like, oh boy.
It's like the Orbit, for the folks at home, it's the Orbit gum that's kept in, like...
It's bubble mint.
Yeah, it's the bubble mint Orbit gum that's kept in, like, the weird, like... It was kept in, like, a cup instead of a
thing, yeah.
package or a box or anything like that. And yeah, dude, it fits in your cup holder. It's very convenient. You can freshen...
Burrito holder?
Your burrito holder.
Yeah, that's what I use them for.
That's a great idea.
Do you, like, peck at it like a bird whilst driving?
Of course, how else are we going to eat it?
Swerving all over the road.
My little felted hands have enough trouble just manipulating the driving wheel and the pedals. So to add a burrito into that.
It's one of us. It's either me or Taylor with, like, our hand manipulating you on the steering wheel and, like, ducked behind the wheel with our hand on the accelerator trying to drive the car that way. With
Left.
An elaborate system.
No, right!
An elaborate system of mirrors and pulleys, like that Mr. Bean episode where he drives his car with the recliner on the roof.
Ah, yes, Mr. Bean, a heavy influence on Undertale. Me and Adam stumbled upon this great thing today.
Yeah, on Wikipedia, we were trying to see exactly when Undertale released, and it's like Undertale is a video game that that was inspired by the Mother series, the Mario and Luigi RPG series, and Mr. Bean.
Why? What?
I don't know.
What parts of it?
It didn't say.
Yeah, it didn't say. It, like
Toho. It remembers
Yeah,
Toho
Toho.
also. But
no citation on any of that. Just like, oh yeah, there's a lot of Mr. Bean in Undertale.
I feel like that's just shit somebody put into the Wikipedia article because anyone can do that.
Yeah.
No, it's 'cause-
Specifically so that someone would have the reaction we're having now.
it's because Rowan Atkinson was the top donator to the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
He donated the most money, and so they made Frisk a childhood Mr. Bean. It just nobody knew because he was silent.
Mr. Bean is silent. He never speaks.
Shit.
He voices Frisk.
Oh my god, we've uncovered the great mystery. This wasn't a case of people fucking up Wikipedia because it's funny. We uncovered the truth. Mm-hmm. The true ending, as it were.
Can you imagine what a Mr. Bean ASMR would be like?
Yeah, here it is.
Wow, that really gave me the tinglies there.
Yeah, it was good shit.
That was great.
Actually, it's
I'm
fun.
erect.
He does talk occasionally in the show.
He says like, "Meh."
Well, no, he's like, and sometimes he's like magic and shit.
Oh yeah, he has like a really deep voice.
Just buying a bean.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
He's buying a single bean.
Beans?
You're sorry about the Falklands War. I gotta make less atrocity jokes. That's like all I do. Somebody made a reference. Here comes B-Ride to connect it to a shameful chapter of human history where people died.
Like, you mean every chapter?
Yeah.
Remember that time when all those people died? Ha 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 ha!
The Black Plague.
That's Mr. Bean ASMR. He just
Yeah.
gets really close to the microphone and
about-
talks about human atrocities.
The rape of Nanking.
The Bataan Death March.
The Trail of Tears. The Holocaust. The election of Donald Trump.
Hey, come on, that's going way too far.
Anyway,
Oh boy.
so this weekend I had to take care of chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Chickens?
No, Mr. Chickens. Thank Christ. Well, I came back alive, so of course I wasn't
Yeah.
taking care of Mr. Chickens.
If you were sent to take care of Mr. Chickens would have taken care of you.
For more info on Mr. Chickens, refer to Frankenstein Control Episode 3, Mr. Chickens.
Episode 4. Anyway.
But anyway, yeah, I had to babysit some chickens over the weekend, and boy, I tell ya, if I'd gotten injured out there, I don't think I'd be here today, because that place, like, my folks live in a very secluded area. If I broke my leg or something, I think that would have been it.
Well, Taylor, your stepmother, and I were getting on in years, so I think we're going to retire just past the range of ambulance service.
Now, it's okay, though, because not only are they living with each other, but they also have my dad's brother and his wife living on another house on the property. They got a compound going. Not a crazy compound, though. Well,
That you know.
Sort of.
that I know of.
They do have pictures of David Koresh everywhere. I've been meaning to ask your dad about that.
Have they been indoctrinating bears into a death cult?
Yes, they've only been feeding the bears rice. And,
Gotta keep you mean, boo-boo.
oh my god, this is a good... Okay, so, I know we talked about the beach trip last year, but...
Mm-hmm.
I know we talked about
Been a whole year since we last recorded.
I know we talked about the beach trip last week, but just to go back, so this is from the same trip,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so me and Adam and a friend, we all made it to the beach house that first night, and it was just us three for that first night. And after we got strange gas station pizza that was actually really good. Like strange gas station frozen pizza. Like it was wrapped in saran wrap with
no label on
with
it.
a handwritten sticker of price put on it. And we're just like, this looks legit, we won't die. And it turns out it was really good. But after that we decided to walk it off and go to the beach and enjoy the nighttime beachy times, because it's like, fuck, we just drove 6 hours. So we're hanging out at nighttime at the beach, and we're all just enjoying the night and the waves and the bioluminescent krill. For some reason, we go completely fucking insane.
Hey, boo-boo, we're gonna go rob all the campers on the picnic baskets.
Oh, Yogi, yeah. Okay, I mean, I have my misgivings about it, but I guess I'm pretty hungry.
It's okay, the humans we needed to survive. Next, after that, I'm gonna have you kill the park ranger.
Wait, Yogi, what?
That's why I've been starving you, boo-boo.
Oh, no. Wait, really?
I'm brainwashing you, kid. Turning you into a mean killer. You gotta kill the park ranger, boo-boo. Gotta keep you mad. Happy bears don't kill park rangers.
Is this like...
And imagine this entire stupid-ass skit that we've just concocted
Is this the...
being said looking at the beautiful ocean and starry night of the Outer Banks.
This sounds like a Hanna-Barbera take on the DC snipers.
Oh my god. God.
Gotta keep you mean, kid.
That's why I don't feed you, boo-boo. Gotta keep you mean. Like, it seemed like a perfectly innocent conversation at first. It's like, hey, boo-boo, gotta get that picnic basket. But you can't have any, boo-boo.
I sure wish local teens would stop leaving their used prophylactics in our national forests.
Only you can impregnate forest fires.
Happy bears don't kill partner.
It was a very strange chapter. That whole trip was very strange, but that was a strange beginning to the trip.
Your talk of chickens reminded me of a fact that I learned.
What'd you learn?
Earlier today? Chicken specs.
Excuse me?
Andrew Jackson Jr. I don't know if it's the junior of that Andrew Jackson, but he invented and patented glasses for chickens. They're spectacles that go over the chicken's head with potentially rose-tinted glasses to discourage them from pecking the shit out of each other, because they tend to do that.
Wait, okay, I know they peck the shit out of each other, but how would glasses have fixed that?
Apparently they will just peck each other because of stress, and then it starts bleeding, and they're like, oh no, there's blood, now I have to eat you. And then they'll continue to peck and kill and like actually eat this other chicken. And having the rose-tinted lenses makes it so they don't see the blood as well, so that it doesn't trigger that, oh shit, now I gotta eat you response.
Whoa. I mean, I know the chickens like to peck each other. I didn't know it was this anxiety-induced pexlexia. Jesus.
Yep. Wendigo psychosis in chickens.
Yeah.
When Chico.
There's something similar with pigs called savaging, where a nursing pig mother will get a little bit stressed out because of her conditions. Maybe it's just a bit too messy for her. So she goes absolutely insane and attacks her babies and will sometimes just outright eat them.
That's kind of how my mom treated us as kids. So, I mean, it's not, I wouldn't call it savaging.
That's why I'm an only child. But I was the one who did the savaging.
Oh.
I ate my twin outside of the womb.
Now, that's the true mark of strength.
Are you part shark?
Yes.
So that's why you have those razor sharp teeth.
And
They're always
also-
falling out
Yep. And replaced immediately.
and getting turned into necklaces by surfer bros.
Yep. And it's
God
also,
damn it, B-Rye, I'm always stepping on your discarded razor-sharp teeth.
Sorry. I mean, there's so many of them that it's hard to keep up on cleaning them. I mean, I'm also sorry that when you lightly bump into me, my skin cuts you.
That too, that's getting a bit abrasive. What? Dude, talking about stepping on your discarded teeth only made me think that it isn't razor-sharp shark teeth falling out of your mouth, but just like white bony Legos. You just have creepy Lego teeth.
When they fall out, they make the sound of like porcelain shattering. There's a bowling alley that FBM and I drove past. This was years ago. It's in my hometown. We're driving past the bowling alley, and he's like, "B-Rye, wouldn't it be funny if that place just collapsed in on itself and it didn't make the sound of pins crashing?" It's funny. It's only funny because it specifically it doesn't make the sound.
Yeah.
And you expect that it will, and it doesn't.
It reminds me of a Simpsons bit where it's in the middle of a hurricane, and the hurricane blows all the doors down to a harmonica store, and you just hear like harmonica noises. Then it pans over to a harpsichord store, and it bashes the windows open, and you just hear normal crashing.
Insanely funny.
Oh, The Simpsons.
I think I remember that, but it was a long time ago. When I saw
Yeah,
it.
I vaguely remember watching that with you, because there was a week where some live stream was doing like a full week long of nonstop 24-hour Simpsons just in
Whoa.
order. So I just had it up anywhere I was going, checking in on it every once in a while.
In the bathroom, at church,
Yeah.
at a funeral. That's why you were at the church. You were at a funeral, and it just almost...
I was at my own funeral.
That's right. You fake your death on a regular basis.
Yeah.
They had your little puppet in a shoebox coffin.
Yeah, every time you shed your skin, everybody thinks you've died.
Yeah.
And they throw you a funeral.
We're gonna, when the time finally comes, hopefully years from now, we're gonna need a piano crate for Spooky.
Yes. I've been animating a cartoon about Spooky.
You have?
Yes, I have.
That makes me really happy. You should have
Yeah.
kept that a surprise.
I know. I can't keep secrets. You know me.
Liz's mom really liked the drawing you did, though.
That's what the drawing was part of.
Okay.
It was part of the animation. Oh, man. That reminds me. Over the weekend, shit was getting kind of low. So to cheer up the room, we started looking at... there's this page on Facebook called Fat Ass Woofers. It's a page totally dedicated to pictures of fat dogs.
Yeah.
With like dopey, stupid ass words to them. Mm-hmm. And it's the best. I highly recommend it. If you get a kick out of fat boys as much as me, they use the term thick boy a lot, which is great.
Is it spelled THICCBOI?
Hell yeah, it is. And they normally do like the vaporwave thing where they put the spaces between each letter.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a good channel.
Thick boy.
Whoa. Adam does the Roby voice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we put a synthesizer in him.
Oh, that's true. I forgot. It's not as impressive when you realize that we designed him to spec,
Yeah.
but not chicken spec. We did give him the rose-colored glasses, though, so he doesn't peck us to death.
Yeah.
Adam, stop! You've drawn blood, but you can't see it. Damn, that actually kind of hurt.
Yeah, you haven't de-beaked me.
Ugh.
Oh, that's horrible.
That's the alternative to the chicken glasses, is de-beaking them, where they cut off about the first third of their beak.
Oh.
And they can't kill each other now, but it's really uncomfortable and bad for them. And it's kind of hard to eat. So
These things, they ain't gonna be living that long anyway. Longevity ain't part of the picture here, quite frankly. I mean, we're raising these things for food. What do you think was gonna happen? Factory farming is, like, the fucking worst. But
I ate factory farming today because there's no way the, 80 billion chicken wings I bought for $1 each, per package, not, $1 for each chicken wing or whatever. But, I went to Walmart and there was, a shitload of day-old chicken wings for sale for a pack of 8 for $1, and I was just this will either kill me or be the best lunch ever. So I did.
oh, good old! You get a great deal on day-old chicken wings. You know, they're just starting to turn stale.
Well, I combated that with I came home and I made my own dipping sauce out of just condiments in the fridge. It actually worked out.
special sauce.
Yeah. I took some mayo, some of the pickle juice from your jalapeno jar. I poured a little bit of that in there. Some hot sauce, cayenne pepper, garlic powder. Just sort of whisked that around for a bit. It was actually pretty fucking good. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty good dipping sauce.
Trash juice.
For the raccoon in you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing that sucks about factory farming is you as the consumer have almost zero control about your participation in the process. Unless you want to shop at Whole Paycheck and
At Whole oh, gotcha. I was Whole Foods. It's Whole Foods. Is a joke about Whole Foods?
How it is expansive.
It is expensive, man. Fucking, I don't know how anyone affords it. Oh yeah, they're rich and shit. I only get truffles from the pig.
Straight from the pig.
Yeah,
right out of his butt.
No, right as he finds it in the forest, you goober.
you got to run in there and just angrily elbow the pig out of the way and just take it and eat it right there. Punch the pig a couple more times.
Oh no, he's savaging.
He's gonna eat himself.
It's an Oro-Borris of pig. The Oro bacon.
The self-eating pig.
Yeah. Honestly, if I were a pig, I'd end up eating myself.
I always wanted two identically named Russians to get into a plane crash and they're forced to cannibalize, but neither of them wants to sacrifice themselves, so they go into a rage and eat one another. Then it's an Oro-Borris.
That might just be the dumbest joke you ever made.
Oh, I told the dumbest one. It's me. I did it. Woo!
Confetti falling from the sky.
Yes, give me a party favor noise. Yeah, there it is.
The setup is so good, though, that that's just primely crafted. That's finely aged bullshit.
I only specialize in the finest aged bullshit, aged in oak casks for over a decade.
Because you forgot about them in the basement.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they just happen to fall into a barrel.
And then you sell the barrels to, microbrew companies.
Sorry, my phone went off. That was me.
Phone foul.
Sorry, guys. I didn't mean. Let me turn my phone on.
Now I gotta read the text on the air.
Oh, it says Travis, and he just sent me a shit emoji. Thanks, Travis. Thanks for ruining the show.
It's not that big a deal. We're just making it a big deal for comedy's sake.
Except Adam, who was legitimately. Oh God, he's gone savage. He's Adam Savage.
He's gonna eat you.
Myth busted.
You guys remember that photo that went around a few years back where the guy who looked a lot like Adam Savage was it was like a sex tape,
Vaguely.
and he was like spreading that ace.
I just gotta bust a myth.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He was spreading them cheeks.
I didn't see that.
Oh.
And then people would put myth busted.
Ew.
I didn't see
Ring
that.
busted.
I think I intentionally didn't see that. I was just like,
And that is by design.
and that is by design.
Us 90s kids, am I right?
Ugh.
You remember the episode of Our Real Monsters where the Grumble spread them cheeks?
The Grumble had 4 legs. Did he have 4 butt cheeks as well?
Oh, 4 butt cheeks,
Did
2
he have 2
buttholes. Imagine.
Imagine the possibilities. With 2 buttholes.
Did you guys ever read Weekly World News growing up?
What the fuck is that?
You don't know about Weekly World News?
Is that like the Midnight Star or the National Enquirer?
Yeah, it was like a tabloid, a shitty. Like,
Is that what Bat Boy came from?
Yes,
Okay.
Bat Boy came from that.
Oh, I thought Bat Boy came from the Enquirer.
No, man. Well, I mean, it's.
You don't know your Bat Boy facts?
I don't.
You know, you gotta get up to speed on this lore, dude. Like,
This is real life lore.
Check
Great
the-
YouTube channel. Check it out. This is a man. He'll tell you things in British.
You gotta check the wiki on it, man.
Yeah, it'll say its inspirations are Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
The Hindenburg disaster.
Yellow fever. Oh, what the fuck was I gonna talk about?
About Bat Boy.
Oh yeah, Weekly World News was another tabloid that was like in the checkout aisle at the supermarket, and it was typically in black and white, sort of newspapery looking, and it had like articles about cryptids and just goofy ass sci-fi shit and aliens, and it was hysterical. And for the first, like the early 90s to the late 90s, it was actually really good. Like the writing was really good. My dad loved it. That's why I know some. We would get one every week when we went to the grocery store.
So it's like a sort of like, is it like a Welcome to Night Vale-esque experience where like it's clearly fake, but it's being treated as though it's real, but it's treating the audience like it's real, but it's obviously fake. You know what I mean, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was like Welcome to Night Vale's trailer park brother. And
Did he eat 9 cans of ravioli and then fall asleep?
yeah,
What do you talk about beer eye for?
I mean that's what I had on the agenda tonight after we're done this.
Yeah.
I can't go to sleep unless I've had my 9 cans of ravioli. Man. You ever had a shower ravioli? That shit's amazing.
The warm water cooks it right in the can.
Oh, by
God,
the way,
could you imagine the sounds? Oh.
By the way, my drain's clogged again. So,
Too many ravioli. Who would have guessed?
Whoa, man, these raviolis are stuffed, and they've stuffed my drain. Double stuffed.
Yeah, all the mouse bones from my cans of just store brand Chef Boyardee that's not Chef Boyardee. Just going up the works in there.
Good value, Boyardee. Man, okay. So this awesome bat article. Sorry, we keep interrupting.
I would dare say that awesome bat article is a gross misrepresentation of the caliber of tale contained therein.
Yeah.
But they were pretty good. They were pretty well written. They were really funny, and just it was good. And the Photoshop, it was early Photoshop. It was great.
Nice.
And my dad actually has like an appendix book of like that they released of just their best front pages and stuff. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
But they had all kinds of stuff about Hillary Clinton's love affair with an alien, and then, like, this was back when she was like the vice president. Vice president. Fuck, because that happened.
The wife president.
Yeah, this is some Mandela effect shit.
Yeah.
Back when she was the first lady.
Yeah.
In the first Men in Black movie, I think Weekly World News shows up, and it's like a credible source in their universe.
That's right.
Because it was contemporary. That was like the height of its like good era was like 98, you know, when that came out. But then in like 2000 on, like they got a whole new team of writers, whole new team of like creative directors, and it just went to shit. It just wasn't funny anymore. Like the stuff just no longer even pretended to try and be realistic. Like there was just no magic anymore. They lost it, and it quickly went downhill from there. There was a great column in there. I think he was like on the page 4 or 5. There was a columnist who was named Ed Anger.
Whoa,
and
that's an awesome name.
He was an ultra-conservative guy who was just angry about everything. And it was like a letters to the editor kind of thing, but also he was like the ultimate crotchety Republican grandpa who was just furious at everything, interpreted every single like mundane thing as like this country's going to hell.
Yeah.
And it was just great to just read the shit he was mad about, and it was really funny.
These kids aren't eating their cereal anymore. This nation's going down the toilet.
Yep. That is an actual thing. They blame millennials for the failings of industries. Like, millennials aren't eating breakfast cereal and it's hurting the cereal companies. And it's like, because we don't have time for breakfast. We gotta go straight to our shitty jobs. The second we regain consciousness from our brief 6-hour sleep.
Yep.
Getting back on the Mr. Bean thing. Back to Bean. These topical Mr. Bean references. Probably from the same era as the Weekly World News.
We keep thinking about those beans.
Keep thinking about those beans. But yeah, there was a Mr. Bean segment that was fucking great. Where he's, like, it's really up close on, like, a mall, like a shopping mall's, like, nativity scene. Mm-hmm. And he just starts, like, I think it's a toy store, actually. And he just starts getting other toys and introducing them into the nativity scene.
Oh, yeah.
With it. There's, like, a T-Rex that shows up.
Yeah, that's like a famous bit.
Yeah, it's just great.
That's good stuff. Like, as much as we, like, mock it and shit, like, if you watch an episode of Mr. Bean, it's still pretty darn funny and good.
You
like,
will laugh.
Yeah. Kind of like, I don't know, there's sort of an art to silent comedy when it's done well.
Yeah.
It can kind of persist because it generally can't deal with complicated subjects that get dated quickly. So, like, you do stuff that, like, everybody kind of gets.
It's just objectively funny.
Yeah. And, like, I remember when I was working at Pixel Pirate Studios, my boss, Saxton Moore, cool guy, he was telling me, like, okay, Taylor Russell, do you know what is the funniest thing you can do in a cartoon no matter what language you speak? And I'm like, what's that? And he's like, people fucking up. People think fucking up is funny, no matter where you are. Yeah. So if somebody fucks up, it's great. And I'm like, huh. And then he went on this, like, talk about Buster Keaton and Charlie Chaplin and all those guys.
Yeah.
About how, you know, just the shit they do is just quintessentially funny. No matter what age you watch it in, they just have generally amusing antics. And that really stuck with me. And it's generally how I, like, regard judging cartoons sometimes. That's why I think Courage the Cowardly Dog is one of the greatest cartoons from just being a cartoon standpoint. Yeah. I think it's one of the best ones.
Well, I mean, people fucking up is, like, on a historical level, it's right up there with the hero's journey as, like, classical archetypes of fiction. Across, like, all of human history. Like, the ancient Greeks had lots of plays about people fucking up. Mm-hmm. It's all the myths were people fucking up.
Dude, all of human history was people fucking up.
Yep.
Yep.
Apartheid.
The Delvanger Brigade.
I don't know enough atrocities. Quit looking at me.
The Ottoman Empire's Bashi Bazook.
The birth of Adam.
Sounds like Large Marge.
That scene scared the shit out of me when I was a little kid.
Lay us that old yarn there, seeing as I've bared my soul about things that ruined my childhood.
Oh, okay. So, this childhood ruining event...
Which is fairly unanimous. A lot of kids that saw this were temporarily traumatized.
Okay, good.
You're not the only one. Like you with your wheelers.
Except it traumatized us when he showed us the picture, and we were like, "Oh, jeez! Oh!"
I'm still like glad it had that effect.
Yeah.
You have no idea how much better that's made me feel after literally decades of bearing that burden alone.
Carry that wheeler weight.
You're gonna carry that wheeler. And then Spike just looks at the camera and he has the gross horse face and the Elizabethan collar and goes bang.
In his hand is a wheel.
Oh, shit. What was I gonna... Oh, yeah. So, when I was but a youngin', I was sleeping over at my cousin's house, Brandy and Sean, and my bro Brian was with me. We were all watching Pee-wee's Big Adventure on the TV, which I was stoked about because Pee-wee's Playhouse was like the show I watched as a kid. I'm like, none of that Sesame Street garbage. I want to learn about the word of the day.
Pee-wee's Playhouse was the shit. Like, the episodes are funny for adults.
Yes.
Like, remember when Adult Swim aired them in, like... 2000?
What?
Yeah, Adult Swim aired them all.
No way.
Yeah.
That happened?
Yeah.
Oh,
In,
that's awesome.
2009, you want to say? Maybe? 2000?
Probably around that time.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, it was great.
So, as stoked as I was, like the other members of our 4-person party were, I guess, just neutral. They knew of Pee-wee. They didn't watch Pee-wee's Playhouse or anything like that. But anyway, we're watching the movie, and to anybody who's seen that movie, you know about the Large Marge scene, where it's nighttime and Pee-wee gets picked up by this strange truck driver who, like, as soon as he starts driving with her, tells this story about the worst accident I ever seen. And, she goes into this in depth about this horrible accident she saw on the highway. And eventually gets to this part where she's like, and when they pulled the body from the twisted, burning wreckage, his face looked like this! And like she turns to him and they do like this
Stop motion.
Yeah, this creepy stop motion, like her eyes bug out and her mouth opens way too wide and her tongue flails around and shit. And like it's funny now. Like if you look at it, it's really funny.
Yeah.
But back then, it was the singularly most terrifying thing I'd ever witnessed to that point. It was so fucking scary, and luckily I wasn't alone. Everyone in the room was like, ah! Like, Mom! Yeah, exactly. We were all in the basement too, and it was dark when we were watching it because, like,
there was a trucker nearby.
No, oh yeah, good old Uncle Gilbus.
He was invited in from the road to.
He just lives in a sealed-off trucker cab in the basement.
Well, unfortunately for us, Uncle Gilbus is just a rich interfiction from you guys, and he didn't exist, and it was just us four in the dark basement. And that shit happened and scared us all shitless. We, like, jumped behind the couch. Like, we were so scared. And, like, the rest of the movie's just fine. It was a very strange outlier to the rest of the production.
What gets me is Pee-wee's reaction to it.
Yeah.
He just falls like, ah! And that's it? It's instead of the absolute flipping of your shit that any other person would do in that situation.
I'd expect, like, Paul Rubens to just break character and go, Jesus, fuck! Good Christ!
Speaking of breaking character, I have not so much a show pitch, more of a show general idea.
All right.
Pitch.
Lay it on us, Fat Daddy. So
let's say that there is a sitcom kind of in the vein of humor of It's Always Sunny, where it's crude, but it's like it's legitimately clever, and it's not just a curse word every other sentence. And this show goes on for a season and a half. People like it. It's funny. People enjoy watching it. Then halfway through the second season, one of the characters is presented with some kind of failure. So they go, God damn it. And then cut to another character. Hey, Don't use the Lord's name in vain. Yes, I'm sorry. I should not have used our Lord Jesus Christ's name in vain. I'm so sorry. I must go repent. And then from then on, the entire rest of the season is like written by devout, born-again Christians. It's as clean and
just a complete bait and switch.
Yeah, just as clean and as wholesome as possible. This doesn't end at the end of the episode. It goes on for the rest of the season. The third season starts, and it's just like that. And like it's popular among churchgoers. They're like,
oh, is it?
They're showing it in sermons because it's like
it's
like a Bible study class at this point.
It's
not even a humorous show. It's just it's just the teachings of God.
God. That's like an Adult Swim move right there.
It is.
But like way more committed.
That's the opposite of moral oral.
Yeah.
What an impetus too. God damn it. Hey, don't say that. You're right. I must repent.
And that carries on for that half season, like two more seasons.
Wow!
And then because they love it, this is in all the it's in all the churches.
It's sweeping church America.
And then it's the fifth season, and halfway through, somebody drops something and just says, "Ah, fuck," and then it just picks off where the
original
where the original second season starts, and now it's vulgar and now a comedy again.
It's like the singularly most passive-aggressive bite at, like, people, like, I think that show's a bit too crass. I think it's rude. It's not... And then it's just a 2-season-long passive-aggressive jab.
You get grandfathered into like a 2-year contract to guarantee you have enough time to make all the episodes and the show plays out that way.
Yeah. And I have another idea kind of in the same vein. If I were to ever make a video game, I would make it a kind of in the same vein as Harvest Moon and Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley, where it's a peaceful life simulator. Mm-hmm. And killing is not really a thing that you do in the game. You don't...
So like Harvest Moon.
Yeah, you don't partake in violence.
Right.
But you do have an axe for cutting down trees. And if you swing your axe within a certain closeness to a character, there will be a 1 in 5,000 chance that it will brutally murder them permanently. And
like Undertale style, so like they're not back when you restart the game.
Well, it's like super violent. Like you swing and they're just like sliced in half. There's blood gushing everywhere.
Oh my god!
The screen turns red and like an angry floating skull that's completely different from the rest of the art style of the game. Just comes towards you, screaming at you, and then it auto saves.
Oh.
And you're stuck with this dead character.
It's the only time the game auto saves. It has the same point the whole rest of the game.
And their corpse becomes a permanent fixture wherever you did it.
Oh my god!
So like you can't just it's not just gone. There's just a dead body forever in that game.
Decomposes.
Not decomposing. It's always fresh and dead.
Oh.
What I thought you were gonna say is like it's like a very like cute and happy version. Like, and you know those games are already cute and happy, but like you know. A lot
extra cute.
Yeah, extra cute,
Hello
extra
Kitty
happy.
cute.
Very, well, that's a bit too far. Like, it's very peaceful and nice.
Yeah.
You know, it's the less cute, more nice. Just pleasant. Everything's very pleasant. And then, like a random number of days in for each player, like it's a random number generated or whatever. But, like, all the crops that you harvest with a hoe, all the trees that you chop with an axe, all the rocks that you hammer with a hammer, for one day when you wake up, are all changed into humans. And, like, every rock you've broken, it saves the location of it and, like, just shows, like, shattered human remains. And, like, every tree you've ever chopped down just shows chopped up people. And, like, just like a
bunch of pile of human legs on the fire and stuff.
And, like a... It's just like the soundtrack for that whole day.
Yeah.
And, like
God.
you can hear like a distant bell tolling, like
Jesus,
intermittently,
that's terrifying.
And like the sky's red, and your character's just coated in blood And then when your character tires out and they go to bed that night, they wake up and everything's fine again.
That was my carcass vision yet.
Boy, this farming game was so cute and sweet. I always wondered why it was called Blood on the Snow.
I've actually played a short game called Eversion. That's kind of like that.
Really?
Where when you start off, it's like a happy little colorful platformer. You're like this orange flower thing that's hopping through pink squares and like this blue sunny skies. And as you progress, you'll find certain areas that will like switch the dimension. And every dimension that you go down gets more and more morbid. To the point where like everything's covered in blood and all the blocks are now skulls that are bleeding and screaming.
Oh my god.
You have giant hands coming out of the ocean to grasp you and pull you down.
Whoa. That I was sort of for what I was thinking, I was sort of leaning on the idea of that one Fighters Guild quest in Oblivion.
Oh, the goblins?
Yes. So in Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, one of me and B-Ri's favorite games, for me, definitely because it's one of the goofiest games out there, and I totally dig that, even though my computer can't fucking run it!
Still?
Yeah, I can't get it, man. I don't know. Anyway, so in that game, you join a guild called the Fighters Guild, and it's,
Mercenaries.
Mercenary stuff, yeah. Quest to quest. It's like, whoa,
Adventure for hire.
Yeah, exactly. There's a troll gone loose in the woods. Take care of it. That kind of shit. At one point, you're on a quest, and they're like, hey, buddy, you need to go to this village here and kill a bunch of trolls that are not trolls, a bunch of goblins that are attacking it. Well, yeah, B-R, you know it better, actually. You tell this story.
So the Fighters Guild is like an adventurers for hire guild who does a lot of like mercenary work and bodyguard stuff. And there's a new guild that's cropped up called the Blackwater Company. No, wait, the Blackwater is the real, actual bad mercenaries from the Iraq conflict.
I was like, hold on a second.
No, but the Blackwood Company.
Is that where Black Forest ham comes from?
You would think. But actually, I come to think of it, I think it's a definite reference to Blackwater. The fact that they're a disreputable mercenary group that asks no questions. Like they take, like Fighters Guild, has like standards. Like they won't do certain kinds of jobs that are like too directly murdery and too borderline criminal and sketchy. Whereas Blackwood Company will do any job.
Here I go killing again.
Exactly. And so they start undercutting the Fighters Guild on contracts until they're like a major competitor. But like people they are paid to like rescue or find turn up dead. Like bad guys, like warlords, they are paid to go eradicate, like pay them off, and then they kill their employer. So there's like a lot of like backlash against them. So part of the main quest line of the Fighters Guild involves eventually infiltrating them. And when you do, it turns out that a lot of the members of the Blackwood Company are Argonians. And the Argonians are the lizard people who have like a symbiotic relationship with these sentient trees called the Hist. And they take recreationally and also spiritually this sap from the Hist trees. They drink it. And like it is like normal for them to do that because it's like communion with their gods or whatever. But for a person, which is to say a human or elf who is not a Argonian lizardman, to drink his sap, it has like profound psychoactive effects on you because you're not supposed to. And you find out that like before they go on missions, they all drink this his sap stuff, and the non-Argonian members of the band go battle berserk basically, and that's why so many of their jobs are botched and like they're reckless and stuff. And when you join them briefly, you go on a job to kill some goblins that are supposedly infesting this village. And you go there and it's just goblins, and like you go into the houses and there's goblins in the houses and stuff. And then after you finish killing them, the his sap wears off, and you find out that you've murdered all the villagers under the hallucination that they were goblins.
And so, like, early on in our friendship, me and B-Rai, it became sort of a thing where anytime we're playing a video game and one of us is just going to murder everybody in the village or whatever because we want to.
Or, like, if we were playing a co-op game and one of us, like, shot the other one with friendly fire by accident and killed me. Oh, sorry. Thought you were a goblin.
I thought they was goblins. Sorry. It wasn't me. It was the hist, bro. I thought they was goblins.
Look, I'm a sworn knight. I'm a defender of the peace. I see goblins. I gotta take them out. I was just doing my job, sir. And then that was another thing of I was really big into reading the Game of Thrones books then.
Ah, that's right.
And
yeah,
that was,
you were into it before it was cool.
Oh yeah, I definitely was, and I read all the books and I loved them. And that became a the character of Gregor Clegane, the mountain that rides, became a joke to our whole group of friends. He just was hilarious. The horrible things that he did were funny to us, not because like we thought they were acceptable or that it's funny to rape and murder people, but just because each successive time he shows up, he's somehow worse than he was before, and like you just thought that there was no way that would be possible because he's just so ridiculously horrible for absolutely no reason. And it's like he shows up, you're like, what, is he gonna start chain smoking puppies? What the fuck? How can he possibly top the senseless, needless brutality of last time? And so we came up with the idea that maybe he'd just been slipped his sap and he's just going on a long rampage thinking all these people are goblins. Although why he would rape so many of them, I don't know.
He has a thing for goblins.
Yep.
He's actually quite unattracted to most people. He just likes goblins.
He's a goblinkin.
The Battle of Antietam.
Sorry.
Oh boy.
Oh, Mr. Bean. Yeah. Oh, how does he keep getting it here?
FBM back in the day when I would like tell him about Gregor Clegane, like every time I would just list to him the next thing he'd done, his response was always, "Why would you do that? Why? Why would you do that? Who would do that?"
Yeah, good old Gregor has a more prominent featuring in the books, I hear. He's sort of a minor character in the show. And then he dies and becomes Susan Strong.
Yeah.
And
there's like,
which I will never not call him that.
There's a village. Here comes Gregor Clegane, chops the head off his own horse and kicks it through the window of a kindergarten. And,
isn't he like 8 feet tall?
Yeah, he's like 8 feet tall.
And so like his horse has got to look like Red Hair from Dynasty Warriors. It's basically an elephant in the shape of a horse.
No, he rides a pony.
Just like a miniature horse, or like a pony, or like a My
Little
Pony?
Sebastian.
Oh, for Parks and Rec. Mm-hmm. Little Seb.
Those are only 2 times I've cried in my life. I forget what the first one was, but the second is when like little Sebastian died.
Yeah. I think the first one is something stupid like a steak restaurant closing down.
Yeah.
I haven't watched much Parks and Rec, but one of my favorite bits that I have seen of that show is they're like, we have vegetarian bacon on our menu, and he's like, I'll take it. And then they bring it, and he's like, bring me more. And then he just keeps ordering more and more. They're like, why you keep ordering so much and not eating it? And he's like, I want to make sure no one else has this.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
It's free
Ron.
samples, and he keeps taking one and then immediately throwing it in the trash.
Oh, okay, yes. It's been a while since I've seen that bit.
Yeah.
My favorite bit is when, I think it's like in Town Hall, and Leslie Knope is talking about this mural that's behind her, and it's like, this is the death of Chief something or other, and like some Indian chief, and he's like tied to like a firing squad pole, and like, you know, he's like looking on with like proud dignity as like he's gonna be executed, and then like it pans out and it shows that like the soldiers have a cannon set up like 2 feet from him.
Yeah, there's this running gag where they Leslie will try to show off these murals that are throughout Town Hall and throughout the city, but this is like a very racist Midwest town.
Oh.
And so all of the non-white people in these murals are like cartoonish, horrible exaggerations.
Oh, God.
So like anytime it shows Native Americans, they're all either being killed or they're all drunk.
Oh.
And
my
like,
God.
she's like trying her best to be proud of her to be proud of Pawnee, but like this stuff is just staring her right in the face. And, like,
This
she can't always do it.
This stupid shit is staring her right in the face. She's like, God damn it. That's a good show.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, the limited exposure I've had to it. I just don't have time to watch shit, man. Like, watching the new episode of Mystery Science Theater was convenient for me because, like...
You can put it on while you do other stuff.
Yeah. Although, this most recent, The Return, it's a bit more visual based. They say more shit that's dependent upon you have been watching this screen.
I noticed that too.
Which is good. It makes it a lot better to show to friends. Because generally speaking, like if you have a show where you don't even need to watch the screen most of the time, it sort of becomes like a thing that you listen to in the background. It becomes like music.
Yeah.
Which is fine. That's how I use Mystery Science Theater, the old episodes, is when I'm working on stuff.
Me too.
But the new episodes are more visually engaging. And I'm all right with that. Mm-hmm. But like, just getting through that was sort of like, wow, I can't believe I did that. Maybe I should watch more things on my to-do list. Like... actually watch Game of Thrones, actually watch Breaking Bad, nope, never mind.
I do not have the attention span or capacity to care about all of like the super adult, like long episode stuff like Breaking Bad that is like an hour-long episode and it's super serious and the plot's super like serious and just dramatic and I just can't be bothered with stuff like that. It just doesn't appeal to me at all. Like I like the format of cartoons because...
Hell yeah, brother. We did a fist bump just then. You guys didn't hear it.
I mean, like, a lot of the shows that we watch, like the cartoons that we watch, have serious plot lines. Like, cartoons aren't just for kids anymore. Like, they have, like, serious... They deal with serious shit, and they get it done in a much more time-efficient manner. It's like 15 minutes to half an hour episode just had as much emotional impact as your hour-long thing that I had to waste and sit through, and it's just like there's clearly the superior format.
Dude, like fucking Samurai Jack has been coming out. God damn, that's been good. Folks at home, if there is one cartoon you watch this year, make sure it is Samurai fucking Jack. The new season is amazing. It's been so good. It's like a direct continuation of the series. None of its charm has been lost. It's only benefited from its new time slot. Like, it hasn't become an edgy garbage heap like one might think a series is tempted to do when they move from a kid slot to an adult slot. Yeah. They do it very tastefully, sometimes self-aware in that regard, which I won't spoil for you guys at home, but it's great. Fucking watch it. It's beautiful. It's art. I say it's art. It's good shit. And, Aku's hilarious as always, so...
Melee!
There's some really good scenes in it, man. Watch it. This episode of Frankenstein Control has been brought to you by Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon is something I didn't watch like hardly at all growing up.
Oh man.
Everyone's childhood experience was like Nickelodeon. I watched a few shows on there, but I really didn't watch it nearly as much as like other people did.
Dude, in my childhood, I was all about that Nickelodeon game. Like, that shit ruled my fucking life, dog. It was great.
Yeah.
There was Ren and Stimpy and Rocko's Modern Life, which my parents let me watch for some reason.
Those disturbed me too much.
Ren and Stimpy, my mom and dad thought was hilarious for different reasons. My dad just thought it was funny because it was crass, and my mom thought it was funny because it was absolutely like, how the fuck are they getting away with showing this on TV? And she got a kick out of that. And being the impulsive pair they were, they let me watch it. And I think that might have a lot to do with everything.
Mentally scarred you are.
Yes, how mentally scarred I am.
How much of a dysfunctional human being you are. It's just a big old sack of sadness.
Hey!
Talking to his boogers.
I'm not talking to my boogers.
Adopting a fart.
Oh, no, I'm not. That was only once. It was only once that happened. But yeah, Rocko's Modern Life, by the way, is great to watch. Now, like as you're a 20-something.
Oh yeah,
like it's way more relatable and funny as a 20-something than it is as a kid.
Yeah.
And also I think that show was very pivotal in establishing my why I make fart noises all the time in my spare time, just like and shit, is because of that show. Because what I've noticed in that show is they use fart noises very. You'll hear this very rarely from anyone. They use fart noises very tastefully. Where
You can taste those farts.
yeah, no, they never use it for somebody farting.
Yeah.
Like nobody ever farts in the show. They use them as like emphasis noises. Where like if Mr. Big Head sees them doing something stupid and he like folds down in like a harumph kind of way, it'll just be punctuated with that. And that, I think, ruined me for life. It made me think every time I'm disappointed in something, somebody could audibly hear a. And you know what else is an audible fart noise in the grand scheme of life? The ending of every episode of Frankenstein Control. Audience, thank you for joining us today. And also, if a New Yorker has killed and replaced me and started wearing my skin, inform the police. Thank you. Good night.
Now even you know I am a menace. I hand you the secrets to save the entire human race and the entire universe.